Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a chatting video. It's been like 3 weeks since I've sat down to film and I'm just feeling chatty and I feel like we have stuff to catch up on. And so I thought this would be a good idea to just sit down and chat. I asked you guys for some chatting topics on Instagram. I was going to have this video be the trying new makeup part 2. If you missed that video, I'll link it up in the corner. It was a journey. So many of you requested a part 2 and I still have so much new makeup to try from that haul, but I have a few more things on the way that I wanted to include in that video, so we're not doing it today, but I will be doing a part 2 to that video. I have some lipsticks that I've been hunting down on the way, and then Physicians Formula sending me some of their new like butter collection, and we could just try it all there. So I'm gonna wait for that. But I thought in the meantime today we could just sit and chat and catch up. Normally this would be called like a coffee and chat video, but I don't drink coffee. I got a huge thing of water though. But maybe you're drinking coffee, tea, Coke, something. Grab something. Let's just have a chit chat. Let's just have a girls chat. Because I missed you guys. I feel like I said, I have so much to catch up with you on, and I'm gonna be responding to your questions. The number 2 absolutely most asked things to chat about were Disney World, our Disney World trip, and Ariana Grande, which God bless. Thank you for asking about my interests. I feel like I could write a book about both. But there's also some other questions. But yeah, we'll just go ahead and get right to it. Well, first, a story time, which this whole thing I guess is gonna be somewhat of a story time. I was gonna film this yesterday, but 2 nights ago, as we were taking Ludo out to the bathroom around like 9:30, Bradley like stopped in his tracks and he was like, "Amy, I cannot take out Ludo right now." And I knew exactly what was happening when he said it, because earlier in that night, after putting Milo down, I came in here. I'm pretty sure I was sitting right here on this bed. Our bedroom looks over the backyard and the windows are open, and I could have sworn I heard meowing in our backyard. It went on for a second. I even like muted everything. I was like, am I going nuts? But our neighbors have 2 cats and they are in and out of our yard constantly and like sitting on the fence. I was like, okay, it's just their cats. Forgot about it. But nope, there was a baby kitten, a tiny cat, on our back patio wanting in our house. And I was just like, I told Bradley, this is literally what I daydream about. Opening up my door and there being a baby animal that I have to take care of. Ideally it would have been a dog or a puppy because I'm deathly allergic to cats, but it didn't matter. I will always help an animal in need. And so we're just kind of like standing there for a second like, oh my gosh, what do we do? At first we're like, oh my God, it's a stray cat, but it had a collar and it was very clearly like a people cat. Like it just wanted to be pet and held. So we went out and we were petting it, and it had the collar but no tag. So annoying. So we knew it was somebody's cat, a domesticated cat, but we didn't know whose. And it was 9:30, so it was a little late to be knocking on doors. We did knock on our next door neighbor's door because we know they have cats, but maybe they got another one, but they didn't answer. So I was like, all right, we're putting this kitty up for the night and we'll hit the pavement in the morning, knocking on doors trying to find whoever owns this cat. I did post right away on the Nextdoor app and like Facebook groups of like lost pets. I searched literally every database of like lost pets, because if I ever lost Ludo, that is the first thing. Well, first I'd be like out running screaming his name, but I would post everywhere because I've seen so many like reuniting stories from the internet. So that I for hours I was scouring, like trying to reload. Like Petco has a database, like so many different ones, local ones, searching for lost pet posts on like Facebook or Nextdoor. I was searching, I couldn't find anything. So eventually we put the kitty in a crate in our downstairs bathroom with the door shut. And again, I am very allergic to cats. I feel like most people think I'm being dramatic, but like they drive me nuts. I still have like scratches on my chest from the hives that I immediately broke out into, even being outside with a cat. Like they just really affect me. I still feel like I feel it in my lungs a little bit. I thought it would be okay in the bathroom and me all the way up here, but it wasn't. At 2 a.m. I was like, Bradley, I am so itchy and I cannot breathe. We have to move the poor thing into the garage. But the garage was warm and it ended up being fine. But the cat like totally slept in the crate. We took it out in the morning. Milo loves cats, so I was so, and then in the first little video clip that I took of the cat, I say in it, should we wake up Milo to play with the cat? He loves cats, and so I was so excited for him to wake up. We took him out in the garage, we let her out, and we just played with her. But we carefully took her outside just to go to the bathroom, which she was such a lady. She dug herself a hole to pooped in it, and then buried the poop. Like, what a lady. But her and Milo like played, and it was so cute, and I was being careful because Bradley was like, maybe she'll like hop over the fence and go home. But I was like, no, she's too tiny. She like was in our yard for at least 3 hours last night, and I posted everywhere. I didn't want somebody to respond to the post and be like, oh, actually the cat left us. Like I wanted to make sure we found the home. We did hit the pavement walking around our area, knocking on every single door. If they didn't answer, I said in their little Ring camera, like, if you're missing a kitten, we have it. This is the longest story time ever. I'm so sorry. We did not have luck, not knocking on neighbors' doors. Bradley was literally about to leave for the vet because we were going to check to see if she had a microchip, and somebody responded on the Nextdoor app saying, "Hey, I think you have my kitten." I don't know why I did this, but I assumed, I guess I just think the worst of people, but like I wanted to make sure it went to the right owner and not just somebody who was like, "Oh, I'll take that cute kitten." And so I posted a picture of her and I said, "If you can tell me what her collar looks like, I'll know that she's yours. Kitty is happy and safe until, you know, whatever." And so he got the collar wrong and I was like, no, and so wrong. I was telling Bradley and he was like, "What are you talking about?" And it was somebody who isn't like our neighbor but lives 2 streets over. Bradley's like, that's them. And I was like, I don't know, I just feel like they're being shady. And then he pointed out, "Do you think your dad could like describe the dog's collar, like his dog's collar?" I was like, "Oh no, probably not." But it was all settled. I just asked if they had any pictures of the cat so I could compare, and it was totally their kitten. I was holding their own kitten hostage. But so we ended up finding the home. We took the cat back to their house, and it just was looking like we weren't gonna find the owner there for a little bit, and I was like, what the hell are we gonna do with this cat? If I wasn't allergic, keep it, obviously, but I am, and every second it's in this house, it's killing me. So I was so happy to A, reunite it with his actual family, and B, just have the situation handled. And we had a fun like night and morning and a little bit of an afternoon with a cat. Like Milo loved it, so it was a fun little change up. But I was planning on filming this yesterday morning, but we were like working our asses off to find this cat's house. So it felt good to do something nice for an animal. I love helping animals. I wish I could help all the animals. And I'm just happy she wound up on our doorstep so that we, you know, made sure she was safe and warm for the night, and we found her home. So, because you know, there's always the option to just drop it off at a shelter, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. We're gonna find its home, and if not, we'll find it a home. So that was our day yesterday. Our day with a cat. I named the cat Stella. I don't know why, that's just what came to me, but then her actual name was Coco, and we will miss Stella Coco very much. All right, but we'll get into Disney World first. So if you missed it on Instagram, or I don't really know how I'm going to end the vlog series yet. This is gonna go up after all the Disney World vlogs. There's 3 of them. Basically, we had a great first 3 days there, and then we got hit with the stomach flu. And if you know me, you know that I have emetophobia. I have a very bad vomit phobia, and I know it sounds like silly, and if like you don't understand it, it's a offshoot of OCD. It's a form of OCD, and if you don't like understand it, it can seem really silly, but it is something. And I'm aware that it's just vomit, but I also like it is something that I have dealt with my entire life, that has kind of ruled my life. I've been to a lot of therapy about it. It's controlled my life, and so I have a lot of anxiety around vomit, and so it was obviously awful. It waited to hit me until we got home, which I'm really grateful for. And you won't believe me, but I knew that this was going to happen. And I'm not allowed to say that because it's an OCD thing, magical thinking. It just, to me, made sense. We're taking our toddler across the country to new germs. He's gonna get sick, and it's gonna be the stomach flu because it's stomach flu season. Like, to me, it just made sense. I knew it was going to happen. I went to therapy for this reason beforehand, worked with my therapist on how I'm just not gonna do compulsions. I'm just gonna kind of be and let whatever happen, and it happened. My sister was like, "I cannot believe that your worst nightmare happened." And I was like, I can. To me, like, OCD aside, it just makes sense. But so we had a great first 3 days. We did Epcot the first day, Animal Kingdom the second day, and Magic Kingdom the third day. All 3 days were magical. So as the trauma fades, I will try and focus on those 3 magical days. But around 3:30 that night, Milo woke up sick. 5 hours later, it hit Bradley. And I'm obviously anxious as fuck, trying to help my child, helping my husband. And that's a whole struggle in itself, is when it's actively happening. And I've been through exposure therapy for this, but I knew the real exposure wasn't going to happen until it's like actually physically happening in my home. Before exposure therapy, like, I couldn't even watch somebody throw up on TV. It ruined my whole day. I can watch it now. I don't turn the channel now. Like, if I know it's coming, I'm okay. And that way, my first round of therapy helped a lot, but I knew that the real work was going to be when my child was old enough to have the stomach bug, and that's when the real work kicked in. And ultimately, looking back, I am very proud of myself. I'm obviously going to take care of my child when he needs me, and I'm trying not to be gross, but like, stomach flus are gross, especially in a hotel when you don't have the proper things to clean. And it was truly a nightmare. Like, it's a first world problem, I understand, but it was truly a nightmare for like 48 hours. And also, once they were both feeling a little bit better, it also happened on our break day, which was, I guess convenient, but it was the day we were switching hotels. So I had 2 boys with the stomach flu and no hotel room for about 4 hours. And it ended up being somewhat okay, but I was annoyed with Disney for not, specifically the All-Star Sports, for not helping me out. I went to the front desk, I was like, I need more time. Like, I have 2 boys actively sick. I need somewhere to be. And they were just like, no, you gotta get out. So that was annoying. But we moved to Port Orleans Riverside, which we loved. A little bit of trauma in that room for us now. We ended up spending way more time in that room than we thought. So I guess we got our money's worth, but we loved that hotel. It was a great place to be like the next day as the boys were recovering and we were just walking around. It was lovely. So highly recommend Port Orleans Riverside. I don't know about the sports. They pissed me off. But yeah, the next couple of days, we had the break day, which was the day they were both actively sick. The next day, we just kind of took easy, made sure to get like a really good quality nap in for Milo. I think we did go to Disney Springs that night. I was anxious AF. I wanted to be as close to the hotel room as possible because in my brain, it didn't make sense that I hadn't caught it yet and I was going to catch it. And I did catch it. But it was like, thinking back, some of the hardest shit I've done, which is so stupid, but like leaving that hotel room, getting on the bus to go to Disney Springs. The next day we did do a little bit of a theme park day. I didn't want to push Milo too far. I also made sure that we waited 48 hours after symptoms cleared up to go into the park because I didn't want to ruin somebody else's vacation by them getting this, and obviously Milo didn't really touch any common areas. He kind of stayed in his stroller. But it took everything in me to leave the hotel room because my biggest fear is like, I'm gonna be in the back of World Showcase, it's gonna hit. And so I'm proud of myself for getting out of the hotel room. We went to Hollywood Studios, which we hadn't been to yet. I just mostly wanted to see the Muppet Show, which we did. We went back to the room for a nap for Milo. I just wanted to make sure he had a good quality nap. And then we went to Epcot to close out the trip. And then we headed home. And like I said, great first perfect 3 magical days, and then the last 3 were not so great. And I know it's not just us. I know this happens to families all the time, but it is truly such a bummer. I spent a lot of the time on our like 5th day, the day after they were sick, just crying. Like, I just felt sad. We saved so much money for this trip. It's not something we can do regularly. The trauma, I'll never go back. That's probably not true. We'll see. We'll be back in stomach flu season, which is too bad because the weather was perfection. But I understand very, very first world problems. I was just really bummed. I was really bummed for us. Just that, like, it happened. It happened and there's nothing you can do about it. My ultimate OCD fear was Milo was going to catch it on the trip. It wouldn't hit me until the airplane ride home. And so when it hadn't hit me for that airplane ride home, getting on that airplane was the hardest thing to do. Like I said, everything I'm afraid of in life, I'm afraid of because of vomiting. I don't like flying because I'm afraid the motion sickness of it is going to make me throw up. And so it just made it that much harder to fly home, but I ended up being fine. It didn't hit me until the day after we got home. The night after we got home, it finally hit me and I dealt with it. It's something to work on. I know I have fellow emetophobias, which I should have said a trigger warning. I'm so sorry, but I know I have my fellow vomit phobias out there watching. I love chatting with you guys. It is nice not to feel so alone in that. But yeah, a great trip and a tough trip. That's just pretty much all it is summed up. If you want to see I vlogged the first 3 days and then I just obviously didn't vlog the rest because we were ill or I was too anxious. But I will be having linked those in the cards as I talked about that story. So if you just click the little eye and then the 3 of them will be there, as well as linked down below. We did have a magical time. I ate so many good things. Like everything I put in my mouth, I loved. That's what she said. And those videos include a lot of our like favorite things, opinions on stuff, new food we tried. So they're fun to watch if you would like, if you're into that. But besides being sick, like Disney World traveling with a toddler can be extremely difficult. And he obviously loved some moments. We did have some difficult moments. He's 2, you know? But he loved the Carousel of Progress, which I thought was so funny. He loved it though because there's the animatronic dog in every scene and he loves dogs. And then his favorite thing of the whole day, he's like sat perfectly still and loved, was the Hall of Presidents. Like I don't, maybe he was just so tired because that was like the end of the day. But he loved the Hall of Presidents and that made me so happy. I spent a lot of my time at Magic Kingdom comparing, because it's a lot of the same rides we have here at home, like their Haunted Mansion versus our Haunted Mansion, which I love their Haunted Mansion. I think the ride overall might be better, but it's a tie because we get Haunted Mansion Holiday with Jack Skellington. But like our Pirates is better, our Our small world is better. And also, I don't want to be the hoity-toity Disneyland person, like, it's better. That's not what I was trying to do. I just, like, I genuinely couldn't stop comparing in my head. But they have so many amazing things we don't have that I wish we had, like Carousel of Progress, the People Mover. I love Mine Train. I waited way too long in line for Mine Train. And I was so pissed at how long I waited in line for it when I got up to the, finally to the ride to ride it. But then I wrote it and I was like, oh, that was so totally worth it. Like, I love Mine Train. I would gut a lot of things in our Disneyland in order for us to have Mine Train. I know they're iconic, but those submarines can go. That ride is terrible. Get rid of it, you know? I don't need Star Wars Land. Let's blow that all out and let's have Mine Train. All in all, I like the way I feel about the trip is kind of a question mark. Editing the vlogs kind of helped me like find the happiness that we had in the trip, but it ended on such kind of like a sour note that like, I don't know how I feel about the trip. I did have fun. I'm so grateful we got to go and take Milo. Will we ever be back? Not sure. Gonna take some time to heal. Speaking of healing, let's talk about Ariana Grande. I love Ariana Grande so much. She is my very favorite artist ever. Like ever. Just her voice resonates with me. I love her also from like a production standpoint. I love the production on her songs. She does a lot of it. I love the way she layers her own vocals. Like I truly love everything about it. I have been a fan of her since her first album, and here we are, album 7, going strong. I do think, like, I'm not ready to stamp it as my favorite Ariana album quite yet because it just came out and you never know how things will settle. But I do think from like start to finish, front to back, this is her best album yet. Like there are truly, for me and for a lot of people I've seen online, no skips. It is such a good, concise like body of work that, if you don't know, is kind of like a concept themed album around the movie Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which I had never seen. And the night the album was coming out, I was like, I've never seen this movie, let me just freaking watch it. So good. I've always known I should watch it. I love both of them, Kate Winslet and Jim Carrey. I don't know why I'd never seen it. It kind of messed me up a little bit for days. Like it's a heavy movie. It's a very creepy, cool concept though, and I really enjoyed it. And I loved that I'm so glad I watched the movie before listening to the album, especially before seeing the music video for her new single, which is We Can't Be Friends. So beautiful, so stunning, made me sob. Literally made me sob. Whatever acting training she went through for Wicked, like whoa. Like I feel like in other videos she's held back, not been as vulnerable, but like I was like, why am I sobbing? I sobbed. And if you've seen it, you know what I mean. But I think it's just such a beautiful body of work. I know a lot of people are mad at her, and I got a lot of messages like, are you somebody who can separate, you know, the artist from the art? And in a lot of cases, no. Like, I will not support Chris Brown. I refuse. And like certain athletes, people who are abusers, like I will not support. When it comes to gossip and things like that, like I had more faith in her than what the tabloids are coming forth. And like, we only know one side to that story. And if you do think she's a homewrecker and whatnot, go back, Page 6 retracted the article they put out about that and the timeline, and like, I think it was manipulated. Maybe that's how it happened, but I have more faith in her than that, and I think that like we only know pieces of the puzzle. I don't think it's fair to stamp that on a story where we have no clue. We have no idea what her marriage was like and his marriage was like and when they started dating. Like we don't know the facts. So that never bothered me. She could also probably punch me in the face and I wouldn't care. I would still listen day in and day out. But she's just been through so much, and now add a divorce to it. However, I will die on the hill that only Bye and Don't Want to Break Up Again are about her ex-husband. I think the rest of the breakup songs are about Mac Miller. I think this project was a healing project for her. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is his favorite movie. He was like quoted saying that in interviews. Jim Carrey was like their thing. They both loved him. And especially We Can't Be Friends, I think, is for Mac Miller, especially the video. I've been down too many TikTok Easter egg rabbit holes, but in the video, kind of a spoiler alert, it's Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind themed video. And in the end, she's just left with his dog, which is what happened in real life. When he died, she adopted his dog. You guys, it pulls on my heartstrings. It really does. The way most people are with Taylor Swift songs about like decoding things, that's how I am with Ariana Grande. Like I know too much, I can figure it out. I'm on TikTok, I'm looking at things. I'm a crazy person when it comes to Ariana Grande. But I love the album. I truly love it. My favorites right now are Bye and Supernatural, like Chef's Kiss. But anytime any of them come on, I'm like, oh, I love it. It's been out for a week now. today, and it's all I've listened to constantly. I'm off book at this point. I know all the words, all the harmonies, like it is truly so good. And I feel like even if you're not an Ariana Grande fan, you should listen. And I love this album because it's so her, but it's like different at the same time. It's also entirely with Max Martin, which is my favorite music producer ever. He's produced every song you've ever loved, I guarantee it, especially in like the 90s. I just love a good quality pop song, and that's what he brings me. Like, and even if you drown out the vocals, like the tracks themselves are such good quality pop songs. I'm screaming at you, I'm losing my voice. I truly just love it so much. And so a collaboration album of Ariana and Max Martin on every single song, like I knew it was gonna be incredible. I heard that intro to the album and I was like, my life's about to change. So I love it. All right, let's get into some of the questions. Oh, I have to kind of hurry. We have to go to Costco before nap time. Somebody said, when is your recipe video coming? Can't wait. I haven't started it, so I still do want to do it. If you don't know what she's talking about, I've been like talking about for weeks, months, maybe a meal prepping video. There are certain things that I make in bulk that I just wanted to make a video about and share with you guys, which I still want to. I just haven't started filming it, but I will. So that, oh my God. Jeez Louise. Okay, sorry about that. My family got home and the dog got pissed, but I don't know where I left off, but yes, that will be coming. Hopefully within the next month. Ooh, somebody said Ariana Grande albums ranked. That's hard. Unfortunately, I think it's My Everything at the bottom. Positions, which I love all of these, so please don't, like, you know, like I love them all. They're all my babies. Positions, Yours Truly. I'm missing an album in my brain. Oh, Thank You Next, Dangerous Woman, Eternal Sunshine, Sweetener. I love Sweetener. I think it's a beautiful album about anxiety, and I just love it. I love everything about Sweetener. I know a lot of people are like, you either love it or you hate it. I love it. And until Eternal Sunshine bumps it out of the way, that is my favorite Ariana album. I got a couple questions on if I'm like an award show girly, if I watched the Oscars. I love award show season. I love watching the red carpet. I don't know why, I just think it's so fun. I'm not really like there to like judge people on what they're wearing. I just think it's fun to see what people are wearing and watch the interviews and all that. And although Bradley watched a lot of the Oscar movies this year, I just didn't care. I saw Barbie, but it was still a fun award season. I don't know, I did totally watch the Oscars. I thought it was a great Oscars this year. Like I just genuinely enjoyed watching it. Same with the Grammys. I loved the Grammys this year. So yes, I am an award show girly. I love watching the red carpet and the show itself. Bradley and I like to make a night out of it. We made like a beautiful steak dinner. It was also like the first night back after being sick that my appetite was back. So I just had a lovely time. Somebody said, what are you watching on TV lately? Do you watch Love is Blind? No, but all of my friends are watching, so maybe I should. I am so boring. I'm not watching anything on TV right now. I'm actually like, when I get bored or want something on in the background, I throw on old Kardashians. I watch Modern Family every single night to go to bed. Me and Bradley have been catching up on Bob's Burgers. I always say Bob's Burgers is one of my favorite TV shows ever, especially in like the last few years, but we're so behind on it. I was like, Bradley, we gotta catch up. Like, it's my favorite show. So each night we watch like 1 or 2 episodes, and I love Bob's Burgers. I love it. But I haven't like really watched anything. So let me know what you guys are watching, what I should watch. I would love to dive into something new. So yeah, please tell me your recommendations. I just like, I get in ruts where I don't, and I just watch either The Office or Modern Family for the 400th time. But I would love to watch something new, so let me know. Somebody said thoughts on the Girls Next Level podcast. It's funny you asked that. I am so bad at listening to podcasts. I just don't do it. When I'm in the car, I'd rather listen to music, but there are times at like home when I could be listening to them. The Girls Next Level podcast is Holly Madison, who I love, and Bridget Marquardt, both from Girls Next Door, which was the reality show, my very favorite reality show of all time, of the 3 girlfriends of Hugh Hefner at the time. And since then, like, Holly's book came out, which, like, if you haven't read Holly Madison's book, Down the Rabbit Hole, it is incredible. Even if you don't, like, think you're into, even if you weren't a huge fan of the show, like, it's just a fascinating book. I love it. I've listened to it on the audiobook so many times. I love that book. But so I love that show. I love them. I need to be listening. Maybe they have it on like a YouTube version that I can watch, and then I would actually listen to it. But they basically like go episode by episode. It is something that is right up my alley because I love that show. I've seen every episode like 1,000 times. So I need to like dedicate more of my time to them. A couple of people asked if I was pregnant again. You guys, don't ask people that. That is so rude. Are you like commenting on my body? Or like, what have I done to make you think I'm pregnant again? Don't ask people that. Jesus Christ. Somebody said, the flowers in your garden are so beautiful. Are you growing them from seeds? What's your secret? Thank you. The flowers you're seeing right now, and the only flowers I have growing, are bulbs. And I think bulbs are so fantastic. Depending on where you're growing them, like if you're putting them deep in the ground, it can be a lot of work, but it's work you just have to do once. And then they multiply and they come back year after year. And so I had Bradley dig a lot deep down up on our hill. And he was like, I don't know if that was worth it. And I was like, shh, it will be. But bulbs I think are really easy to just throw in pots. I have a bunch in pots and you really basically just bury them and I don't even think you have to water them. I think they just like go. They grow, they're beautiful. I love them. So that's what you're seeing because right now it is daffodil and tulip season, which speaking of, I had a tulip that was almost ready yesterday. I haven't checked on it yet today. I can't wait. But bulb season has brought me a new love for spring. I always thought it was my least favorite season. Wrong. Summer's my least favorite season. Spring is incredible for the bulbs and just like all the fruit trees in my backyard coming back to life after winter. Like spring is beautiful and I never knew. So I guess technically those are from seed because I just throw the bulbs in the ground, but I am not good at flowers from seed. Last year I bought some packs of zinnias and I planted those and those did well for me, so I'm planning on doing that again. I would love to get better at growing from seed just because like it costs a lot less, but we'll see. I have a lot of practice still. I'm better at like herbs and vegetables than I am with flowers. Somebody said spring nail polish faves. I actually have this on right now. It's kind of chipping, but OPI sent me some of their latest collection, which I don't remember what it's called. It's a very fun collection of like mixing things, like layering the different colors, like everything's meant to be mixed. But this color is called Apricot AF and I love it. It was kind of, I won't lie, hard to paint. Like I found the formula kind of hard to work with, but once it dried, it looked glorious and I've had it on for like 6 days and the chipping is minimal and I just love the color. I think it's fun. And so they didn't send me that full collection, but they sent me half and I'm excited to keep trying them because they're fun, like bright. I love spring nail polish, bright, fun, neon colors. So yeah, I'll keep you updated in favorites videos, but I am loving this one. I can link it down below. Somebody said, how do you not overheat with your hair down all the time? You see me with my hair down all the time. Every other time you're not seeing me, it's probably up in the nastiest messy bun you've ever seen. But I also am a fan of like the half up, half down to like still feel a little put together. Not that a bun up is put together, just my buns up are not put together. They're a hot mess. But I am a fan of like that hairstyle. I like the way it looks and that relieves some of the heat, I guess. But in the summer, like I just don't do my hair. Like it's just up. Somebody asked for anxiety tips. Hope you're well. Thank you. I did go through quite an anxious couple of weeks there. Woo! But my tips on it are just to feel it, move through it the best you can, but like don't ignore it, acknowledge it. My therapist always uses for anxiety and OCD the metaphor of letting it be like a bee on your shoulder. It's just there. You're aware that it's there, but you're not going to do anything about it. And that eventually like the bee will just fly off in peace because you're not, swatting at it, you're not angering it. It's just there. It's with you. It's part of your day. If you're having an anxious day, I understand that sometimes anxiety is so bad that you can't really move through it. You kind of just have to like zone out. I understand that. I have those days too, but I've seen more results, better results with it kind of leaving when you don't try to fix it. When you acknowledge it, it's there, but we're not going to do anything about it. When you don't play into it too much, your brain kind of like learns to just let it go. So as best you can, move through your day. If you're feeling anxious, but you still have to, go to the grocery store, which can be so hard with anxiety. I saw a meme the other day. It's like, can somebody please explain to my anxiety that I am not in the middle of a stampede right now? I am just at the grocery store. Because why is it that the grocery store can make us so anxious? What is it about it? It's a pretty pleasant place, especially at Trader Joe's. But sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna faint from a panic attack for no reason. But the best you can, move through your day, the things you have to do, and you might be surprised with how quickly it leaves you alone or just kind of calms down to a better place where you can, feel good and get stuff done. Okay guys, but I'm going to leave it at that. Like I said, we gotta go to Costco before nap time. So we got to get out the door. I'm so excited to go to Costco. I'm hoping they have soil and maybe some plants that time of year, maybe some trees. Last thing I need is another citrus tree, but I'll buy it. I'll do it. They're so cheap. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for chatting with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, the part 2 of that makeup try on video will be up somewhat soon. Check out the Disney World vlogs. I'm also vlogging another just like at home around the house normal vlog, so that'll be up soon. And let me know what you guys want to see. I'm kind of struggling with like video ideas, so I would love to know what you want to see. And yeah, I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day. If you're not having a great day, there's always tomorrow. Hang in there. I love you, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!